Hi, good morning friends. So today we are going to discuss about borrowing. Spending and saving we already discussed in my previous video. This is IGCSE Economics, O-Level Economics, Chapter 17, last portion. Chapter 17 is divided into three parts, spending, saving and borrowing. In that first two videos, we already discussed what is spending and what is saving, and now we are going to discuss about what is borrowing. So here you can able to see that what do you mean by borrowing. Borrowing means normally we will take money from, we will be take that, okay, one person will have more money and at present I need a little more money than my income. So what I will do, I used to borrow some money from him. Same thing, nothing else. So borrowing is the moves income from people who do not want to spend it now. For example, my friend doesn't want to spend it now. He is holding that money for the next month. To those who need more money than they currently have. For example, I have only 5,000 rupiah in my hand this now. So I need a little more. So what I will do, I will ask my friend. Actually, you are not going to spend it now. So you give to me, I will give you next month. That is called what? Simple sense, that is called borrowing. These people hopes that their income will rise soon. They are thinking that their income will be rising soon. For example, what I am thinking, I will think that okay, next month I will get a salary so I can repay him. Clear? Income will rise soon so that they can repay the loans and the overdraft. Okay, then most people who buy a house, sometimes what they will feel, yes, to buy a house, okay, to buy a house have to borrow some of money to finance their purchase. For example, purchasing a house, it is not a simple matter, it need a bulk amount of money. So all of a sudden that particular person cannot be arrange all those money by himself. What he will do, he will take a loan. That loan is called what? Mortgage. In order to purchasing a house, if you are taking a loan, means that is what we will call it is called a mortgage. Then borrowing enables people to spend more than the current disposable income. For example, my current disposable income is 5,000, okay, and I am borrowing additional 5,000 from my friend for a emergency. I want to purchase a new cell phone, so 10,000 rupees I needed. So at present I am having 5,000 only. So what I will do, I will take a 5,000 from him and total 10,000 I can able to use for purchasing. So borrowing enables a person to spend more than their current disposable income. My current disposable income is how much? 5,000 only. But now how much I spend it? 10,000. So why it is happened? Because borrowing only helps it. But it involves a cost in the form of interest which has to be repaid. For example, if I borrowed from my friend, I don't need to pay any interest rate. But if I borrowed that 5,000 from the bank, after 1 month I am repaying it back, I have to pay some additional some charges. That charge will be considered as the cost of borrowing. That will be called it in economics, we will call it as an interest rate. In economics, what we will call it is an interest rate. For example, the bank will charge a certain level of interest rate for borrowing. For after 1 month, when you are repaying it back, you have to pay that interest even. Clear? Then in this slide, we are going to be discussing about what are the influences affecting borrowing. So in short, we can able to see that what are the factors that affecting borrowing. First one, the availability of loans and overdrafts. For example, whether easily the loans and overdrafts are available. Do you think that in your country that much financial institutions are there provide loans and all these things? It is very difficult to get it, isn't it? So that time borrowing will be very less. For countries like India, there will be so many small and medium-sized financial institutions, you can able to borrow it very easily. So the easier it is to borrow, the more likely people are to borrow. Clear? Availability is high, means surely they will borrow more. Then another one factor which is affecting borrowing is the rate of interest. If interest rate is low, people will borrow more. If interest rate is high, people will borrow less. There will be an inverse relationship between interest rate and borrowing. A rise in the rate of interest will increase the cost of borrowing, which is likely to reduce the borrowing, and vice versa. Opposite also we say. For example, we can say that a decrease in the interest rate will decrease the cost of borrowing, that will lead to increase the borrowing. Clear? Then third factor is consumer confidence. Consumer confidence is that when I am borrowing, I have a confidence that next month I will get a money and I can able to repay it back. That is the consumer confidence. If I am very rich and I am having so many assets like government share, bond and assets, everything, then I will be very much confident. Of course, I can pay it nicely. I can pay it. Then automatically I have a tendency to borrow more even. The more confident people are about in the future, the more they will anticipate their earnings in future. They may adjust their spending pattern now, financing some of their extra expenses by borrowing with an expectation that their higher income will enable them to repay their loans. Clear? I know that in next month I am going to be at a very heavy amount so that I can spend it. I can manipulate this month consumption a little bit extra by borrowing because I am very much confident that I can able to pay it back next month. Okay, that is called consumer confidence. Then social attitudes. In some society have a very good tradition of saving. In their forefathers and fathers, grandfathers, everyone will have a very good amount of saving. So everyone will try to save it like in the form of assets or in the form of bank deposit or in the form of jewelry, gold, property like that. Then of course in that particular country what will happen? Everyone will have that tendency. Okay, I also want to purchase some property or I also want to purchase some gold like that kind of stuff. Some countries and some groups within the countries are more concerned about the risk of people getting into the debt by borrowing than the others. Okay, some will have a borrowing is a very bad habit. It will be very big problem. So don't borrow. Like that kind of attitude will also be there. It is depends upon the attitude of the people. If they are so much confident, means surely they will buy. If the rate of interest is sure low, means surely they will buy. If availability of loan is also be less, is very cheaply available, means surely people will buy. Then social attitude and their family tradition and beliefs, that is another one factor. So these are the main factors which influencing borrowing. Then I'm going for an individual activity 2. Individual activity already we discussed in the previous videos, and now we are going to be discuss about the individual activity 2, IGCSE economics. Table shows the relationship between disposable income, consumption and saving. And given income is given, consumption is given. And a copy and complete the table. Here you have to find out the savings. How you will find out the saving? I told you now, if you have 100, what you will do? You will consume and save. Only 100, you are consuming 100. So saving will be 0. You have a 200 and you are consuming 180. Then saving will be 20. Clear? You have a 300 and you are consuming only 240. That means 60 will be saving. So like that you can able to complete it. Then calculate what portion of the income is spent. When the income is 100. Income is 100, they spend how much? 100 they spend. That means 100% income they spend. And when they have a 300, they spend only how much? 240. So 240 divided by 300 into 100. That will be considered as the answer for this question. How much proportion of income they spend? Clear? The same way you can calculate the proportion of saving even. Okay. Then next activity. In this activity, the saving ratio in Japan fell from 14% in 1990 to 11.6% in 2016. That means saving ratio, the proportion that which people is paying is reduced. Previously they said 14%, but now they are saving only how much percentage? Only 11.6%. One reason given by the Japanese economist was the rise in the number of retired people. So retired people means in relation to the number of workers. Comparing to the working population, retired people are higher. Retired people are higher means what? They are almost finished their life. There is only little span is remaining. In that time, they don't need to keep money in their bank. So what they will do? They will take money and they will spend it. So define the term saving ratio. What do you mean by saving ratio? We can able to say that average propensity to save. Saving ratio means what? Saving divided by disposable income. That is called considered to be a saving ratio or average propensity to save. Then explain why saving ratio may fall due to a rise in the number of retired people in relation to the number of workers. Actually, why saving ratio may fall due to the rise in the number of retired people. Number of retired people is increasing means what will happen? Their disposable income will be very less because they are not working and their consumption will be very high, like a medical care and a basic necessity they need a bit more. So in that situation, what will happen? Their consumption will be greater than their disposable income, and they are have pension and all those things. So, and of course, so that time they will not be keep it more money into the bank, so they will try to spend more on medical and all those things. So they will not spend it, save it more. So that's why the number of workers means what? So the question is that explain why saving ratio may fall. Why they are not saving? Why if all the people are there means why they are not saving? You can able to see this one question answer when you are watching in the saving video. Okay. So I hope that you can able to easily complete all this work and try to submit as early as possible. Thank you.